too, man. I have unending love and respect for someone.
Speech. Some students who didn't even go to the speech have made appointments with a therapist to deal with the
Oh my god.
That was the crowd
That's
that
actually,
greeted
that is
conservative
pretty
writer Ben
funny.
Shapiro as he was attempting to give a speech.
And I was told by the police officers, if you do that, there could actually be a riot. Look at me. I mean, like, do I look like a physical threat to anybody? It's not rude to say that someone who's biologically a male is a male. Facts don't care about your feelings.
You cut that out
Self
now,
care, but like-
or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know.
If you're going to criticize the meritocracy as an outgrowth of white supremacy, then you're going to have to tear down the system that you've succeeded in because you have merit. Joe Biden, there's only one
You can't criticize the system. You're black and have money. Fuck. It's level 1 take.
thing the guy is good for, and that is being wheeled out in front of a parade that's already moving. He's like, oh, look at that. Oh, I'm here. Yeah. And Ben Shapiro.
Good Joe Brandon impression.
I think you're going to love us a lot more.
Okay, that's not a good Trump impression. It's really bad.
Okay, Mr. President, appreciate that. Fox News just called it. It's over, gang. This election is done. It's toast. You can put it in the fridge. It's finished. The greatest political comeback in American
Saying it's over, gang, in your highlight reel? Holy shit.
A huge victory against the woke left that needed to take it directly in the teeth. Well, folks, I just got back from the theaters seeing Barbie. This movie is not just a picture. This movie is a flaming piece of dog
40-year-old man, by the way.
piled atop an entire.
No, wait, how old is Ben
It's one
Shapiro?
of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's like 75 or something.
I may have a desire to sleep with many women, but I do not.
I agree with me. Yes, that's true.
Congratulations on
41.
Your,
Charlie's voice is not silent. We're gonna pick up that bloodstained
I like
microphone
the
where
Barbie
Charlie
movie.
left it.
Fuck you
And to those
guys.
who would intimidate, who would seek to stop us, who would seek to end free discussion and kill people who speak freely, we are not going to stop. And I have 2 words. You.
Whoa. The hard
Holy shit,
hitters.
chills, bro.
Dude, actual chills. It's a little bit of cream.
Thank you.
The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, man.
They have
How
pyro?
about that
Yeah,
walk
bro.
down memory lane,
That was great.
right?
Man.
I am so
Dude,
happy you're here.
this-
This worked out so well. You've been in the news lately.
Yes.
Yeah, you seen that?
Yeah.
How's your last year been?
The last year has been interesting. Obviously, huge victory for President Trump, which was the big news of the last year. All the transformative policies that he's put into place, that's been wonderful.
The what policies?
Had the opportunity to
What do you
see him
say?
do some
The
of these historic things in person.
transformative. Transformative,
How
but the
dare-
trans
how dare he
policy.
say that?
Obviously, huge victory for President Trump, which was the big news of the last year. All the transformative policies that he's put into place, that's been wonderful. I've had the opportunity to see him do some of these historic things in person. I happened to be in Israel for the Jewish holidays when he was giving that historic speech at the Israeli parliament, which was unbelievable. I mean, it was truly tremendous. And then obviously you figure after an election things are going to cool down, and then things don't cool down. And so,
Why
it's-
is he
it's
talking
been
like,
busy.
oh my
Obviously, since
god, guys, I
Charlie's
can't believe it.
murder, which I think all of us reacted in precisely the same way. The security threats went up dramatically. I've had obviously personal security since I believe 2017, maybe 2016. I've had about 10 years of personal security. The last 6 years has been 24/7 security on me as well as on my 4 children. And that's been accelerated even more so in the aftermath
4 children without ever getting your wife's pussy wet. That sounds rough.
of Charlie's murder. So that's
So
on
that
a
tweet.
personal level, that's been
I love the Ben Shapiro culture war shit. Actually, a pussy's not supposed to get that wet.
not fun. The good news is that the security guys are very sweet, and
God
my
damn
kids
it.
get along with them great, and they have lightsaber fights with them, and they think that this is kind of normal.
They have lightsaber fights with. Never
It
mind.
isn't
So
normal,
that's
and I wish
What
that
are you
the
doing?
country would go back to normal, but it seems
Never
like
mind.
it may be a while.
Can't.
You've been dealing with this for a long
No, that was I'm pretty sure that was a real tweet.
time, and I've seen it personally.
No,
You know,
no,
I mean, I've seen you surrounded
the
by teams
pussy
of
thing?
security,
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
going to say, and I mentioned this last night, that if God forbid
Or it
something
was a
happened to most of the
section
gay
on the
righty
show
guys,
where he
we would
goes,
know exactly who did it immediately.
a
If
woman's,
something happened to
I
you,
don't know
God
what it
forbid,
was.
It would be like an Agatha
I forgot.
Christie
I need to stop
mystery.
trying to say
There's so
Ben
many
Shapiro shit.
possibilities because you're loathed by the far left, and you're loathed by what we.
Also, I discussed this issue on my show. My only real concern is that the women involved who apparently require a bucket and a mop. Wait, sorry. As I also discussed on my show, my only real concern is that the women involved who apparently require a bucket and a mop get the medical care they require. My doctor's wife's differential diagnosis, the bacterial vaginosis, yeast infection, or trichomonas, or whatever the fuck that is. And then, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just bad at the fucking voice. And
Used to,
it's,
and
yeah.
maybe
Yeah, it's
some
not
people
saying
call
the
it
same thing.
alt-right.
Fine, I'll try and find.
And I remember we used to talk about this on the Kelly File because some people called you alt-right.
Kelly
And you
File.
would explain, no. I'm not alt-right. I'm loathed by alt-right. So what is alt-right and why do they loathe you?
So there is. Here are some of the lyrics. You ready?
I'm Marquis.
Okay, nope, that's an edit. Why is it all fucking remixes?
Super empowerment. Here are some of the lyrics. You ready? Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P-word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P-word. P-word is female genitalia. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet ass P-word. Beat it up, N-word. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P-word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P-word is wet, come take a dive. And continue along these lines. And it gets
Wow.
Maybe. What the fuck is this? Okay.
a group of people in the United States who are rooted in an idea of grievance against the system that they believe has put them underfoot. And those people believe that essentially they are underfoot because of their white status. And thus, they must take revenge on anybody who is disproportionately benefiting from the system that tends to, in their own minds, be Jews. And you see this mostly refracted right now through a young man named Nick Fuentes. He's 27 years old. He is the leader of a movement called the Groypers. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this, but he
Wait,
is,
are they
he
cheering?
says,
No, they're
I believe,
saying
truly
boo.
awful things.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
truly awful things. Not just about Jews. I mean, he has said, for example, that the Vice President of the United States, this is a direct quote, I believe, is a fat gay race traitor married to a Jeet. That's a direct quote
And
about the Vice
upset
President.
that he named his son Vivek.
Yes, he also has suggested and spent years
Very few
trying to
boos
destroy
noted.
Charlie Kirk's organization.
Jesus.
Charlie, in texts that have now been revealed, called him vermin for exactly this reason and had banned him and his followers from TPUSA because he believed that Nick Fuentes and the Groypers and white supremacy didn't belong as part of the conservative movement. And so the alt-right became this, or they're two sides of the same coin, or they're parts of the same sort of broad movement. And unfortunately, I think that they've gained a foothold in sort of the internet subsystem. I don't think they have a foothold in mainstream America at all. And I think one of the mistakes that people make
You say
is to
kick
think
this
the
guy
internet is real
out? What, Ben Shapiro?
life. The internet is absolutely not real life. And the first thing people need to do is turn off X, which is poisoning brains and making people think that not true things, it's basically like war games. They think the missiles are real. The missiles are not real. The things happening on X are not a reflection of real life, but they can bleed over to real life if enough people take them seriously.
So you and I have talked about Nick Fuentes many times over the years and our many appearances together.
I mean, if you want to take that up with Republicans, I, on the left, am going to laugh my ass off every fucking moment of the Fuentes-Shapiro war. I am not interested in helping you, or the right, sort this out. I'm here to laugh.
And that's how I knew about him, because he was saying absolutely terrible things about you. And I am going to show a video, please forgive me, of one of my first introductions to this guy, Nick Fuentes, and what he was saying about Ben. This is a video of him showing himself playing Grand Theft Auto right? A video game where you shoot people.
The disenfranchised youth left is being absorbed by other more moderate left people that say retard, people that aren't like super woke but just like good policy.
And he's pretending that this character in the video is Ben. Let's watch.
Oh, that's funny.
Is he just shooting Ben over and over and over again?
He's just playing GTA.
Oh, that's funny. Man, that makes me laugh and laugh. That's a funny one. What a chance encounter that was. I think I just saw Ben Shapiro.
That was the clip?
That was, how dare he?
That's, wow, brutal. I don't like... I'm not a fan of Fuentes, but that's not what I thought that clip was going to be. I thought that was going to be way worse.
It goes on.
I mean, I would hate for people to believe that the Nick Fuentes sort of, my problems with Nick Fuentes are about me, because they really are not. They are about the fact that Nick Fuentes is a truly horrifying person who believes truly horrifying things. I mean, again, there is a reason why Charlie Kirk despised him. There is a reason why every mainstream political commentator has been highly critical of him. It's the reason why these are not arguments. This is not a person who's making arguments. He is a Hitler-loving troll, and I say that advisedly. He literally says on his show that he loves Adolf Hitler. Okay, so just the reason this has come up in recent weeks is because Tucker, your guest last night, decided to have him on last week and to completely gloss him, in my opinion. And you can make up your own opinion as to what you think Tucker was doing during that interview, but I know what it looks like when Tucker Carlson decides to be an aggressive interviewer, when he decides to ask...
Yeah, wait, is this a question? Are they surprised that Tucker Carlson is going to fall on the Fuentes side versus, like, the, I don't know, Ben Shapiro side? I thought that was a given. I thought we knew this about Tucker Carlson. What?
Difficult questions of people. Tucker is eminently capable of doing that. He did it to Ted Cruz quite thoroughly. But he decided for any number of reasons, and I try not to attribute motivations to people, that he was going to treat Fuentes with kid gloves, that he was going to not ask him about any of the things that I just mentioned, literally any of them, and to essentially normalize Fuentes, act as a sort of gateway drug, or as what I've called Tucker as an ideological launderer of bad ideas over the last couple of years. And this is not coming from a place of animus for Tucker on a personal level. I've known Tucker for a very long time. Tucker and I, whenever we're in personal situations, we get along great. I think I saw that Tucker talked about how we were at Charlie's memorial in the vice president's box together, and he's correct. I mean, we saw each other, we said hello, we talked, it was very friendly, and all of that. And it's also true that a couple of days after Charlie's murder, he reached out and he called me and he said, listen, I know that we're at odds, and we've been at odds for a number of reasons, mainly political. I mean, again, on a personal level, I'd go fishing with Tucker anytime. The real question is, for me, I got into this business because I care about the ideas and I care about the ideals. And so when you're determining what is conservatism, what should the future of America look like, and where do you draw the lines, those are the questions that I need to answer in my job.
I do think that, like, the Shapiro Megyn Kelly may lose this in fight to Fuentes.
Nah.
You think? At the very least, the Fuentes wing has a stronger chance than these people are willing to give credit.
No, I don't think so. I think Americans are not. They're like, I don't know how to explain it. Americans are American, and they like a certain thing. And no, I don't believe this. And they say that they might Americans be like, I like Hitler because he's like avant-garde or something. But no, they actually don't. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, so I think the isolationist, like strongly anti-immigrant, no matter what, this undertoned white nationalist movement is probably stronger than people give credit.
Oh, I feel like people think it's. Well, wait, maybe we're just
it
thinking
depends
it's...
on people. It depends on what people you're talking about, I guess.
Yeah, right now I think the general. I thought everyone knew that. I thought it was like a thing that they're like very popular right now, like the most popular one ideology.
Oh no, that's not the assumption I was working on. But
I think people think Americans are more racist than they actually are.
I would agree with that statement, but also, like, I don't know. I feel like people are underplaying the Fuentes wing because it is a larger tent, I think, and it's soaking up people pretty quickly.
Mm.
I don't know.
I thought it was already pretty large. We might be on different.
Yeah, we
media.
might be talking past each other, or not like that, but yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, no,
My business is really not about friendship. I have lots of friends, people who I love, with whom I disagree.
the lefties are being like cemented right now. You're seeing the rise of a lot of young liberals and more voices for. Yeah, the Bernie Bros were a different like breed, though. I guess I don't know.
This is complete cope. I'm sorry, dude. Really,
Young liberalism is on the rise. Yeah. Ever since like they're like, all right, fine, you could say retarded again. Everyone, a lot of younger people are like, okay, we're back. I mean, you'll see. I mean, Trump's.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess.
In politics and don't believe they should be leaders in the
don't
conservative
think we're seeing the
movement,
same
for example.
thing.
And that to me
No, we're not
is
seeing
the
the
real
thing.
question. In any case, Tucker reached out. He said, we've had a bunch of disagreements, and
Yeah, bro.
what if
Most
we could
people
put
don't
those
have a
aside
fucking
and
job
align
or
toward the
time to
TSA?
protest all day.
Yeah, and also if you look at voting demographics, young people are like far more left, and older people are more right. Like I'll pull it up.
Is what he mentioned. And I said, Tucker, you're totally right. Let's do that. That would be great. In fact,
the TSA?
The DSA, the Democratic Socialists
Why
of
the
America.
TSA? How did that bring you together?
The Democratic Socialists of America. And the reason
No,
I'm
that
taking,
I know.
Yes, and the reason I'm taking out
TSA
my
only
phone
divides people.
is because, yes, the reason I'm taking out my phone is because it's.
All right,
I don't
this
just,
is from Pew.
I like to evidence what I'm
like,
saying.
it's
with,
a pretty.
Actual.
It's a pretty clean trend line there.
And the
And when
text
was
exchange
this?
was very nice. I mean, here's what the actual text exchange went like after the call. So I texted him.
2023.
Thanks so much for
so
calling.
I can try and find a more
Yeah,
recent one, but
Should we do a show?
Yeah, I
together
think
talking about the DSA
this
threat,
is like
Democratic
part of my
Socialist
thesis
America
that.
threat, and orienting in the same
Wait,
direction.
well, hold up, let me mute this.
yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I'm sorry, Ben Shapiro just fucks my train of thought up so hard. I think people moved at a super I think that those numbers are very outdated compared to the last election.
Probably.
Where I don't know if you know what these mental images are coming to, but there's like a TikTok where it's a girl and a guy, and the girl like jumps into the guy's arms, and they say, "We can voting Trump, knowing that we can finally afford groceries again," or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. But
okay, it's so funny. I think a ton of young people moved rightwards.
They did,
and I think that has completely shattered. Like we're back to 2023 numbers because they weren't actually with their heart wasn't in really with the mass deportation stuff. It's more that they were thought Dems were lame and sausage guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they were sausage. But Donald Trump was eggs and bacon type thing.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm trying to get at? Or no?
Think
well, you know what? We'll see in 2028, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there was just a general shift. But, okay, so this is 2024. Like, if you want to go by the No Kings protest, yeah, it's just going to be people that aren't having to work anymore, retirees. But yeah, ages 18 to 29 still went Dem. And men under 49 only very slightly went Trump. Like, it's not.
Yeah, yeah, and I think those numbers are now 2023. I think people
with his approval rating where it's at. I'm sorry, the young Republican movement is on its way out. Because this guy isn't exactly a face for everybody.
Happy to do whatever it takes to bring everyone back together for the fight that matters. And Tucker then wrote back, thanks, man. I appreciate
probably
it.
cannot
I'm going to spend
type
the next
that
week
in
or two
Twitch
thinking
chat.
about how to be most effective. The country is clearly on the brink. I reached out repeatedly. After that, nothing happened. And again, I thought it was a good idea at the time.
I think you're coping.
I think I felt differently after I saw what he did with Nick Fuentes, and after he proceeded, in my opinion, to spend the subsequent weeks doing literally nothing to fight the left. I say this with sadness because Tucker used to be, I think, a deeply important part of the conservative push to win. The number of times that Tucker Carlson has mentioned Zoran Mamdani since October 5th on his show is once. And it was in the context of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson talking about the appeal of Zoran Mamdani. Just by way of contrast, not because I'm a perfect representative here, but because you've talked about Zoran Mamdani a lot. A lot of us have. Since October 5th, I did 17 separate shows on Zoran Mamdani, including 4 in the last week before the election.
Okay.
Because when you're orienting against the left, you really should orient against the left.
Okay, so
Wow, holy shit.
Wow. Wait, because that works so well for Democrats in 2016 and 2024 is just orienting against the right.
I think, just to be clear, so the breakdown from the detente after Charlie was him interviewing Fuentes. Was that the next thing that happened? That
yeah, if you think that you got holes in your brain, brother, she might try and run in the primaries. There's no chance. It's gonna be between AOC, Newsom most likely. I'd say AOC second most likely, and Pete Buttigieg. There's no room for Kamala there.
led to the blow up.
I mean, yes. I mean, I had not spoken a word. There
So it
were
wasn't
things
that he attacked you, or you had
no,
something?
I don't care about
It
people
was that
attacking
interview.
me, and I don't think Tucker cares about people attacking him. I mean, again, we're professionals. We're in a business where people comment on what we say publicly. Again, this is why I think you and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she's doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But
it's a little crazy.
I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a little.
Please care, please care, please care.
Yeah, but for real, why is he arguing?
She's just not. What is Candace Owens doing? She's on one. She's talking about the Israelis killed Charlie Kirk, going down a bunch of different rabbit holes. She was talking about how different numbers it correlated with zip codes and how it was all a big plot. She's a little bit off her rocker.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Okay.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't take in that content, which is an honest statement. I don't have time to watch Candace's show.
I believe you. But the point that I'm making
I'm with
is
Megyn
that
Kelly on
I
this
understand
one.
that
in our
I ain't
business, I think it's
fucking
important.
touching that.
No, and Candace
Friendship
and I are
should
not
not
friends.
trump.
We don't even know each other.
I understand, but even with Tucker, friendship should not trump our manifest requirement to speak out when people do and say things that are both detrimental to conservatism and morally wrong.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I think the way of handling that, at least for me, is much different. So I saw things go south between you and Tucker, at least from my vantage point, when you disagreed on Israel. That was obvious. And
Well-
he was, well, let me just make my point.
Sure.
And so he was saying things that were critical of Israel and our policy towards Israel.
Ben,
Because-
stop debating her.
Because Megyn Kelly is facing a choice. Does she fall the Tucker Fuentes way, or does she fall the Shapiro way? And I think she's... Well, we'll see.
And then you did one show where you did what I thought you should have done if you disagreed with him, which clearly you did, which is say what you believe and what you think is factual and like educate your audience on what you think are the real facts and give them the evidence for it. But you named him and it felt like an attack. And that to me was the beginning of the end, where he was like, now it's on. Because he felt personally attacked by you, as opposed to just challenging his idea. I think you named him and you kind of diminished him. And, you know, he's an 800-pound gorilla, and if you mess with a gorilla, he's going to fight.
That's what you don't like
To
about
me,
her?
that's where it started to go
Of the
south,
two
because I remember that
teams?
day being like, oh, shit.
I think
I
both of
don't
these
wanna see
people
this.
are
But here's the thing. I urge
opportunist
everybody to
leech
go back and
bags.
listen to the show that
That's
you're
actually
referring
my
to, where I
biggest fear,
criticized Tucker's ideas,
is that
not Tucker as a person. Tucker then responded by
everyone's an
claiming-
opportunist. Even people on the left.
Yeah. People act in their own best interest. That's what you can trust them
No,
to
but you
do.
know what I... No. Yeah, sure. But I would hope that, like, even liberals have, like, principles that they keep by. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I actually don't think... I think all of these people would be bowing to Fuentes if he had, like, a large percentage of the population. I literally don't think... Yeah, I think you saw it with Ben Shapiro, how he was like, after Jan 6, they were like, oh, he basically was like, thank God I don't have to fucking shill for this treasonous ogre guy.
True.
And then the moment he's like, yeah, I love Donald Trump. Everything Donald Trump says is actually the best thing ever. And I love Donald Trump. And I'm scared now, knowing that there's like so many. You know, the people that are like, why I left the on her voice, that Chinese lady who was like the #1 Democrat liberalism person, like actually didn't care about any of the things she, like, I guess cared about. Like, it's weird. I don't know. I feel like it's I hope it's just a right issue and not a everyone in political power issue. Like, I hope Nancy Pelosi believes what she...
I think she does.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think she does, but I don't know. Like,
I think Schumer, I think
that's my
AOC,
biggest...
I think Jeffries. I think these are... Like, I don't think it's as bad as you think, because there's some... Okay, also, no bud, dude. The Republicans could obsess over the culture war. That's why the trans shit was such a big thing for all of the 2024 election when Kamala Harris didn't fucking mention it. Every conservative I get in here says, oh, I left the left because it was too woke. And talks about culture war, Gamergate, all that shit. Like, it's kind of been left behind. At least on the left. I don't hear much about it in the left spaces I exist in. And every time a conservative pops on, it's something culture war related. At least in my little corner of the internet.
That I do not love America. That is a direct quote. That I do not love America because I was spending too much time covering the October 7th attacks, and then proceeded in January to then say that I wanted his children to die in a foreign war. Okay, so those are different.
That's a rhetorical.
No, it is
point.
not. I'm sorry, it's not. An attack on motivation is a very different thing from an attack on an idea.
His point was that you were sounding like a neocon, and he's upset with anybody
God
who wants us to
forbid.
get too involved in Israel's conflict because he feels it endangers American children.
Okay, the idea that, number one, the idea that I want.
So actually, this is an example of a principle that Shapiro has hit, right? He doesn't want to shill for Trump, but he will. When it goes to Israel, that's his line. Like, since now that it's butting against it, he's willing to fight. He wasn't willing to fight on Trump. He's willing to fight on this. So it has hit. He's blown past a bunch of principles, and he's hit one that's strong.
Yeah. I see what
the
you
United
mean.
States to be directly involved in Israel's conflict
I
is not
get it.
true.
No, I know that, Ben.
I've been urging Israel to get off of American aid for literally
Well, like, what do you expand by what you mean? What I guess what issues fall under the colloquial culture war? Damn it! I finally got colloquial right, but not culture. I hate saying that word.
as long as I have
I
been
use it so
active in
frequently.
politics.
But I'm making
That
clear
is
what
not-
his point was.
But
Like,
my point is that that's not his point. And again, none of this
So we
blew
disagree.
into we disagree
Whoa,
on
whoa, whoa.
the interpretation of what Tucker has been doing for the
Correct.
past 2 years.
No,
It is very
not
difficult for me to
disagree.
believe
It was a glaze fest for the
Tucker
last
is
two
merely
hosts. Why can't it be
anti-Israel
like that
when,
for me?
example, today, in his newsletter, I mean, I can directly quote it if you'd like. In his newsletter today, he claimed that Zoran Mamdani is not anti-Semitic. This was his newsletter today, this morning.
He's not.
I mean, I'm happy to read the text.
It's
pretty-
like,
it's a little extraordinary. But again, it is kind of shocking stuff. So here's what Tucker Carlson
It's
wrote
super
in his
shocking,
newsletter
Ben.
today, or what his
And I think-
Zoran Mamdani is actually anti-Semitic.
for a lot of the right, that's points for him, not against him. Like that's
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't.
newsletter says.
Holy
Here's
shit!
it.
What?
He said, "Is the incoming mayor a fan of Israel? Does he want America to fight its wars? Not particularly. But a Jew hater? That's a different conversation. We've never seen anything to suggest he falls into that ugly camp. If we're talking about fighting the left, defending Zoran Mamdani, who literally said that Hamas, he has no opinion whether Hamas should disarm, who posed alongside the 1993 World Trade Center unindicted co-conspirator, who would not disown globalize the Intifada, who suggested that whenever there is a New York Police Department boot on somebody's neck, it's an IDF lacing
It's the populace versus the establishment, I
the
guess.
strings, to suggest that that's not anti-Semitic in any way, no way.
okay, but listen.
Or when he
I'm
when
going to
he,
give you a defensive.
It's gonna be the communists and like far right. So you guys have fun with them. They don't vote for us anyway. Enjoy
What?
bonding over Israel and Israel only.
Tucker here, and I don't
I
need
don't
to defend
know.
Tucker because
This
I'm not
is
Tucker.
JFK liberals. I feel like that's every guy on Twitter. I'm a JFK liberal.
Generally, where he's coming
Commies no good. Well, that's the part of the left that agrees with you on certain things. So the rest of us, no chance.
He would say his problems are with Israel, and he would say that shot that Mamdani laid against the IDF is a shot against the IDF and Israel and how.
Oh
he's
shit!
going
She's
pro-war.
standing by it.
Not
I don't even know
against
if
Jews.
Zoran
And I
stands
think-
by
and I
his
think-
all I can
quote.
say is when
Wait, let
Tucker
me just say
Carlson
this, let me
finds
say this,
himself
Ben.
in complete alignment with Zoran Mamdani,
I
it is
think-
very difficult for me to believe.
It went hard in Germany. You guys kicked the hell out of liberalism. Not you guys, but like the communists and the fascists band together, shut the liberals out, and then the fascists won. I guess.
That he does not agree with
I think
Zoran
Tucker
Mamdani.
is in a place right now of the same place that Charlie was getting to toward the end of his life, the same place that some people had tried to drive me, which is you're under withering, nonstop accusations of being something you know you're not.
Well-
But from some people who you love and who you've been protecting, at least in my case and Charlie's case, for 2 years, who you've been completely defensive of.
Megyn,
And Charlie and I both felt, and I
Oh my
we
God.
talked about this
He's
on the
getting
show,
steamrolled.
like, what's
Shapiro.
happening here?
Ben
Why are we
Shapiro.
dropping
Where's my
I'm
2016
losing the facts and
Ben
logic.
Shapiro?
The facts and logic are hurting my feelings. The facts and logic are hurting my feelings. Ow.
We're Zionists.
These hurt
Megyn,
quite bad.
You may notice. I'm just talking about me here. Are there people who are overzealous? Sure. Have I ever attacked you?
No, never.
Did I
never.
ever attack Charlie publicly about any of this?
No.
Okay, he and I had
I'm
disagreements
just
behind the
saying
scenes.
that
Did I ever-
publicly.
did I
you're
ever-
like-
Good-
you
good
get
slip in
defensive,
there.
I think
And by the
Tucker's
way,
feeling
by the way,
defensive.
I waited to attack Tucker until he glossed Nick Fuentes, that has nothing to do with Israel. Nick Fuentes hates Jews.
I'm not
and
saying
Tucker
you didn't have a
massaged
right
him.
to go after him. I mean, I think you did what you thought was right, and you felt, and he mentioned you a few times in his interview with Nick.
Yeah, you can't make direct or like stuff like that. Just don't insinuate violence. Can't do that. Not in this chat.
He
Fuentes.
did, but again, I don't think it's about that. Because if he had not mentioned me in that interview with Nick Fuentes, I still would have said something about it. Because again, glossing people who are white supremacists is bad electorally on a pragmatic level. A right wing that embraces its own fringes will end up in the same position.
I also love how Ben Shapiro refuses to say glazing, so he says glossing.
A left wing that has
Okay,
embraced
so
its
that's why I want to get into it. He embraces.
I'll get one glass donut,
so
please.
now, having spoken to Tucker,
Please, can I have one glass
I
donut?
actually see that interview very differently. And I did listen to the interview, and I knew what Nick Fuentes was. And I think he did show himself to be who he is. It wasn't his most vile stuff, but you got the feel for what this guy was. But I really think Tucker was talking to him, Ben, to put like a bumper on this guy. Because what Tucker was urging him the whole time was to understand
I don't
that
want to watch this
collective
interview,
punishment for
but
anyone who
I'm
performs
so
wrong is
curious
deeply
now.
immoral and it's anti-Christian, which this guy is supposed to be, and reminding him of how deeply immoral that is. That you should not be looking at a group of
Who's the
people.
next guy? Alex
Remember
Jones?
this. Like, the left
Like-
does it to everyone, whites mostly, but like this collective shame, white men in particular. And there's a group of people like Nick Fuentes that does it
that's
to groups
culture
of
war
Jews.
shit.
And he was making the
whatever.
case throughout the whole interview in the way that Tucker does. He's not like you or me. He's not like pointed and
That
cross-examining.
is not true.
And was
That is
making-
fundamentally untrue.
No,
Ask
no, no.
Senator Ted Cruz whether that is true.
He gave it to Ted Cruz because Ted Cruz is a politician.
That's yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hold up. So only politicians get cross-examined?
You don't. Well, look,
Truly?
it depends on the person.
Tucker
That's-
would never cross
I grade Trump on a curve because he's not a politician.
examine a person
Yeah.
who's not a politician. That's his rule.
Tucker has excoriated public figures who purport to speak for us and represent us for many years. Nick Fuentes is a podcaster
Okay.
civilian.
Okay, I just have a question. We all in our industry are constantly excoriating people who are in our industry. It happens all the time, every single day.
Okay.
Okay. Again,
But we're talking about his
we
interviews.
can agree to disagree on your interpretation of what Tucker was doing there. I think everybody should watch and determine for themselves what they think Tucker was doing in that interview. And I urge you to watch it back to back with the Ted Cruz interview to determine
Sounds like he's
whether
about
you
to
think that was an
cry.
aggressive Tucker Carlson interview, and you can judge for
I
yourself.
didn't say
You
it
don't
was
have to take my
aggressive.
opinion.
I didn't say it was aggressive, and I don't think he would say it was aggressive.
And I
think
think
his
that-
point was this guy, first of all, he's become a
Oh, man.
behemoth, sadly. He's got 5 million viewers on Rumble. He's got 1 million followers on X.
I agree.
This is all before Tucker Carlson. And he was platformed, I hate that verb, but he was platformed by Patrick Bet David. And he went on Dave Smith's show, and he went on another big show. He's been
Actually, I listened to Hassan. He was platformed by Destiny.
getting more and more purchase in the political ecosphere, including
And-
right wing.
And I think that's
Patrick
bad.
Bet David has a huge show. I know, but
Patrick
did you
Bet-David
know
did
that
more-
Patrick Bet
Pat-
David had him on?
Patrick
Did his
Bet-David-
life blow up?
Patrick Bet-David did a significantly more aggressive interview with Nick Fuentes than Tucker did.
Okay, but my point is simply he's growing. He's growing in stature. And so what I saw Tucker do was not whitewash his ideas, but try to put bumpers up on the guy.
then-
I know
then-
Tucker
then-
well, and I think
then-
that was his approach. And the way, if you want to put a bumper up on Nick Fuentes, is it helpful to say, you're fucking vile, you're an anti-Semite?
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it
that
is.
doesn't put a...
Yes, it
No,
is.
it isn't. That makes
Yes,
the
it is.
audience feel good because you have hand-to-hand combat, but it doesn't help change that guy's view or his extremeness at
I
all.
don't know. I don't
Okay,
watch Nick
I'll tell you what
Fuentes.
doesn't change Nick Fuentes' view. Tucker Carlson with his arm around Nick Fuentes, grinning for the camera, while Nick Fuentes tweets out America first, and then triumphantly goes on the air the next day to explain that he has essentially used Tucker Carlson as a vehicle for manipulating other people. Okay, that's what Nick Fuentes is saying, not me, Nick Fuentes. Okay, and Nick Fuentes, and by the way, I will again say that Tucker Carlson, when you say to somebody in an interview, do you condemn anti-Semitism? And then the person says, sure, which is what Nick Fuentes said. He said, I'm not an anti-Semite, which is blatantly untrue.
Yeah.
A responsible journalist would then follow
I don't
up,
know. I don't
demonstrating
consume
that
enough
that is false.
Fuentes
Tucker did
content
not do that.
for
He allowed
any
him to get away
Fuentes
with that,
content.
And then he allowed him to talk about, quote unquote, organized Jewry, followed by Nick Fuentes being treated to a disquisition by Tucker Carlson about why Christian Zionists of all human beings on earth are the people that he hates the most.
He took that back.
You can't take that back.
You
How do
can
you take
too.
that back?
He did.
How?
Because
This
he
meltdown.
went-
He
he
should-
looked
then
at-
you should
Oh
no.
my
explain why
God,
it's
I
wrong.
would
You should
love
explain
it.
why
How does
Christian
she-
Zionists are actually
How does
wonderful
she
people.
know that?
Tucker is very quick.
I don't watch Nick Fuentes. He took that back, actually. He took back that quote, actually. He took that one back.
She came prepped.
Oh.
She's excoriating.
Oh,
Wait, she's
interesting.
excoriating Ben, Sleeper Fuentes agent over here, Megyn Kelly.
Dark Fuentes. That's
Dark
what it's
Fuentes.
called.
Maybe Megyn is gonna join you. Maybe. Oh no. Oh brother.
Quick to self-flagellate, and he went on with Dave Smith the next day, the next week, whatever, Monday, Tuesday this week, and said, that was stupid. I didn't mean that. He said, I'm angry at people like Lindsey Graham. I'm angry at people like Ted Cruz because he thinks they run headfirst in these conflicts and they don't think about what's going to happen to American
Wait,
kids.
hold up. If we're talking about firing inside the tent, whatever you think of Lindsey Graham, okay, and I'm not a huge Lindsey Graham fan. He votes with the President of the United States 100% of the time, and Tucker spent yesterday's show excoriating him as a psychosexual death worshiper. Does that sound like firing outside the tent? Again, these are the questions.
I'm not offended.
Again, the questions that I'm asking here, I'm not asking you to do anything, Megyn.
No, I know.
Okay,
I know.
I'm not.
Our beef is not with each other.
I'm not.
Ben Shapiro deemed too woke for the new right.
Okay. When I draw a line,
Like
Megyn,
that's
I'm not offended.
worshiper.
like that line
Does that sound
there.
like firing outside the tent? Again, these are the
I'm not
questions.
offended.
That's a man. You've got to put that in 2016.
Again, the questions that I'm asking here, I'm not asking you to do anything, Megyn.
No, I know.
Okay,
I know.
I'm not.
Our beef is not with each other.
I'm not. Okay. When I draw a line with regard to what I believe Tucker Carlson is doing to the conservative movement and what he is fomenting, that is because that is my info, and everyone can make their own decision as to whether they think that I am right or whether I am wrong and where they choose to draw the line with regard to the conservative movement. The question for me is always whether somebody's statements are forwarding moral values that I think are worthwhile. I did not get into this business for the money or for the clicks. You didn't either.
Neither did he.
What was that?
Neither did he.
I mean, he may not have. That's fine. I certainly did not. I'm only going to speak for myself. And what that means for me
This is
is
like
that
a
if I see somebody
subtle Ben
breach
Shapiro
basic
ambush. Oh
moral
my god.
values by having on a Nazi, and in my own view, you can take your own view, in my own view, gloss the Nazi, then I'm going to speak out about that, and I'm going to point out that there is a long pattern of him ideologically laundering terrible ideas over the course of the last 2 years, ranging from traveling to Russia to sniff the bread and explain why the Russian regime is actually wonderful, to
Holy base,
saying
Ben.
last week that the Venezuelan regime of Nicolas Maduro is actually not that bad because they're being attacked by, in his words, globo homo.
Tucker's made the point, I'm not going to here to be Tucker's defender, but he's made the point that Maduro is culturally conservative.
Who gives a shit? The guy's a communist dictator. Everyone in his country is eating dog. He's shipping fentanyl to the United States to kill Americans. Why do I give a
Soviet
shit
Nazi.
whether he's
Yeah.
anti-LGBTQ rights? This is the number one thing about Nicolas Maduro. You know how far down the list you have to get before you can get to anything remotely recommendable
my
about
God.
Nicolas Maduro?
Dude, this is
I
a
did
great
ask
debate.
him
This
huh?
is awesome.
about the criticism that
Oh
did-
man, if this is an appetizer for the rest of this like fallout, oh, I'm so excited.
give Nick Fuentes a hard time, right? He didn't bring up the stuff that we were
Anything.
talking about. No, he didn't. And here's what he said. It seemed to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms, which I mean, so what do you say to those people? Say, why don't you? Why
He's
don't you
so
raise it?
red.
You know, do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you.
I agree
He
with
did-
him.
by the
I
way,
agree. No, I agree. I agree.
Do
with
whatever
him.
you
I agree
want,
with
bro.
him. He did the
If you want to
interview
yell
he
at
wanted
Hitler,
to
I mean, that's on you, bro.
For a reason.
But you're not my fucking editor. Buzz
Here's the other
off.
thing I want to say. We all have different
Buzz
approaches in this
off.
industry,
I got
you know,
him.
and there's been a lot that people in podcasting have said that I disagree with, including many of the names that we've discussed
I
tonight.
mean, we disagree too. I mean, yes,
yeah,
of course.
but
She brings
mean-
out Nick.
yes, rarely.
Sam Cedars, fucking Ben Shapiro with Nick Fuentes.
But sometimes we do. But my own personal approach.
Oh, no,
generally when
Nick
it's someone
Fuentes.
Who's on my, what I consider to be my
He is on the
side.
stage.
This is the entire question. Whether I consider Tucker Carlson.
Oh no, Nick Fuentes. What a nightmare.
I got it. But I would
What a
just say,
nightmare.
just for the record, my own general approach, and this is my audience here, so they know, is in general, I will take on a position and I will make clear
Oh
how
my
I feel. For
God.
example, I've been asked, and some of my
Chat,
audience is mad at me for
what
this,
the
but
fuck?
what do you think happened to Charlie Kirk? And I believe a man named
What happened to my
Tyler
liberal hug box?
Robinson shot and killed Charlie Kirk. I believe he was influenced by trans Tifa, radical trans activists, that he fell in
What?
with a lunatic
What is
that goes by
happening?
Lance Twigs. That guy was extremely radical.
Oh, that's
and
what I
that
thought she was
he
talking
and
about.
possibly
Something
a band
else.
of others convinced this guy that violence was the answer.
I thought
And
they were
believe
talking
others
about
knew it
Charlie
before
Kirk
Charlie
was
killed.
taken
That's what
by
I believe.
trans Tifa.
And until you can show me cold, hard proof that it was something other than that, that's what I'm going with. And I don't want to do or say anything that will
Why not cold hard proof that it was? We stand type 2 errors here, not type 1. All right? We don't convict without evidence for multitude of reasons, but we prefer, as a society, to let a guilty person go. That if we don't have enough evidence, we can't prove it. That's a type 1 error. We say that someone's innocent when they're not, over a type 2 error, which is saying someone's guilty when they're not. All right, that's what our society has chosen to prefer. I'd agree.
Jeopardize the FBI investigation and prosecution of that guy to make sure he spends the rest of his life either behind bars or on the wrong end of a firing squad. But that's... So I feel like I can make these points without attacking people who generally are on my side in fighting the deranged leftists who are killing us.
But my point is, so 2 points. One, you have to define your side. You do. There are limits to the
All
side.
the people who don't want to kill others based on their political ideology.
Welcome to the Democratic Party.
I would agree with that, except for the fact that, as you showed, Nick Fuentes wants to kill others based
Jay
on their
Jones
political
feel
ideology.
like
He's not with me.
Oh,
My point is that Tucker...
Yeah,
dark Democrat.
That's too dark. I'm all for dark woke. That's
He was joking. He was joking around. He was playing.
those texts were pretty fucking around.
treated him as though he was on his side.
Yeah, it was,
I see it differently.
Exactly. They were super. I don't know.
Over the line.
I know you do.
Exploratory interview where there was a possible attempt to put a bumper up on this guy.
I think that we don't have to go over ground that we've already covered. We can agree to disagree on that, and everyone can make up their own mind after going and watching the interview yourself.
Why don't we do the Larry David? I disagree to disagree. By the way, is it gloss or glaze?
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
Gloss, like a glossy,
you
like.
have kids who do the brain rot talk? That's what they call it, brain rot, those terms? Like he's got Riz. I don't know. I've got 2 teenagers and a 12-year-old.
I mean, listen, my original verbiage is that Tucker was fluffing him, so I guess that was more G-rated.
That's a porn reference, right?
It is.
It's a porn reference. Yeah, he's not afraid to say it. So let me ask you this. There's some risk to both of you in this. You know, it's like Godzilla and King Kong having this battle. There's some...
Man, Godzilla and King Kong fell the fuck off.
Yo.
Dude, Godzilla vs. Kong. That was a great movie, by the way. Oh, is it Tucker versus Ben? I thought it was Fuentes v. Ben.
Some risk to both of you because you both have very large shows, very large audiences, and there's probably some overlap, or at least there would have been 2 years ago. So is this in any way, did you feel any reluctance to, have this?
Okay, so I was reluctant because, again, he and I had texted about the idea of orienting in the same direction, and then I decided that we were, in fact, not oriented in the same direction. Okay, but am I worried about, the career risks? No, because to me, there's sort of a Laffer curve when it comes to influence. So famously, when it comes to economics and the Laffer curve, the idea is that if you tax everybody at 0%, you receive 0 tax revenue. If you tax everybody at 100%, you also receive 0 tax revenue because everyone stops working. I think there's an influence curve as well, because I thought about this a lot before this.
This is so, Ben, who goes to the Laffer curve to bring home the point about...
Yeah, that is kind of what the Laffer curve is. But it's just a suggestion that there's a upper limit on tax rate that continues to be effective. So if you, let's say that magic number is 50%, if you raise the tax rate to 51%, you start to decrease the amount of revenue you get.
So smart, but then he knows that we don't know what he's talking about, so he defines it.
So if you have no influence, but you speak out a lot, then you have no influence. If you have tons of influence and you don't speak out when it's appropriate, you also really have no influence.
I guess it does.
And so for me, the question becomes, when is it important to speak out? And Megyn, you and I have been talking behind the scenes about many of these same issues for a very long time. And so you know that you've known me for a very long time. I'm pretty good at conflict, but I don't like conflict. I really don't.
You've been trying to put this one behind you guys for a long time.
Didn't you wasn't that like the entire reason you have a platform? Was fighting with people?
Very long time. Consistently. For a very long time. In fact, for 2 years, I can read older text messages. After that initial blow-up where Tucker was suggesting I have dual loyalty and all of this, I literally texted him and I said, Tucker, we seem to have gotten crossways somehow. I would love for you to come on my show. I'd be happy to come on your show. We'll do it. And he proceeded to ghost me for 2 years. Okay, so
he was not in a headspace. I didn't talk to him about this, but my assumption is he was not in the right headspace to
for
have
2 years is a long
Damn. Running cover for Tucker. That's crazy.
time to be not in the right headspace.
Well,
but you
look
know,
at the 2 years we've had, right? Look at the 2 years. It's all related to Israel. It's all related to Israel.
I do not agree. I disagree. I fundamentally disagree.
Picking fights with you before the Israeli conflict.
It wasn't about picking fights over Israel. Okay, again, you're trying to turn it into he picked a fight with me or I picked a fight with him.
No,
For me, the question
there's no
is the
accident
principles.
It blew up over the past 2 years.
I don't think that it's a coincidence that obviously anti-Semitism simultaneously blew up with the war of October 7th.
Yes, but
that's
also
true.
so has conflict and controversy
There's
involving feelings over Israel.
Of course. And now the war has been over for several weeks. And Tucker Carlson is writing newsletters about how Zoran Mamdani is not an anti-Semite. What does that have to do with Israel?
I think
You know, if you'd have told me to pick a side that, Israel would fracture this heavily, I thought it was going to be the left, but man, it seems like it's coming down on the right. What the fuck?
that's a hangover from being called an anti-Semite at every turn and feeling angry about it.
You know what? I'm a little tired of the excuse that if you are called something enough, that justifies all of the subsequent activity. I've been called.
That is Trump's whole justification for any of his vindictive prosecutions. Oh my God!
Every goddamn name in the book. Every name in the book, and I have not. But I have not shifted my positions because people call me names. That is a childish thing to do.
Ben, with all due respect,
and pardon the language,
you did not have an entire country call you a Nazi for the past week. I think he's in a defensive place right now on charges of anti-Semitism.
I'm not interested in his psychotherapy, Megyn.
I am. I love him as I love you.
Well, you know what? And that's why I started this off by saying you're empathetic and you're a wonderful person and you're good.
Dude, he was guilty of that shit. You can't go and cry when you've committed crimes and then you get caught committing crimes and prosecuted. It's soy.
Friend, and I think that there's a reason why in the medical industry you don't operate on your friends or your relatives.
But you're telling me I need to.
I'm not telling you. No,
That's what I'm trying not to do.
No, Megyn. Actually, I haven't said that one time here.
Well,
I've said that's why I'm doing it.
I know, but there are many people.
And you're
who
urging
are
me not to. And I'm saying that is not a move that I can make because Tucker has already closed the door to the idea that we are on the same side.
But he hasn't closed the door to détente. Let me show you another soundbite. Let me just show you one more. But is there any way that you and Ben Shapiro can actually find your way to détente?
I'm not against Ben Shapiro. He did a 40-minute thing yesterday calling me dangerous and all this stuff. It's I didn't watch it because why? But I got a lot of texts about it, and it's I don't think Ben Shapiro is driving a lot of this stuff. I don't consider him the world's greatest force for evil. I don't feel that way at all. I don't actually think about him ever. So I don't want to have a war with Ben Shapiro. I don't know does he really
backhanded
think
compliments. I love
that
those.
me doing an interview in which I explained that anti-Semitism is wrong to one of the lead purveyors of anti-Semitism, that somehow makes me a Nazi? What is the argument here?
I'm going to ask him tomorrow night.
No, but I don't even understand what the argument is. All I know is that the right, and I've been on the right since before Ben was born, is acting like the left.
Wait, is he that old?
Amazingly precise way that
Ben Shapiro's 41.
What the hell is going on?
I agree with Tucker that the right is in fact acting
56.
Like by again massaging.
Damn, dude, he's on the right before Ben was even born.
You're 14.
That does not sound détente.
Or 15,
because
it
again, I'm not trying to turn this personal is a mistake.
I know, but can it happen? If you, that person who sent
Megyn,
those texts from your end, is that person still willing to sit with him and work something out?
When Tucker changes his positions, then sure.
Yeah, so
if he does not change his positions, then no, because I'm not in politics to be friends with people. I have children, I have a wife, I have a dog, I have an extended family, and I have friends outside of this.
He doesn't want to be friends with you either, Ben. It's about uniting the right so that we can fight the right enemy on the left. And Tucker is of the right. And Tucker has been fighting for a lot of these ideas for a long time, and he's changed this country fundamentally for the better.
I'm not saying Tucker has never been a wonderful advocate for anything on the right, because I don't think that's true. I think in the past, he was a great advocate for many things on the right, particularly on the immigration issue, for sure. I'm saying that's not what he is doing now. I do not think he is advocating for right-wing positions. He is not conservative than I am by any stretch of the imagination on any possible issue. And when it comes to the question as to whether he is actually making the conservative movement more likely to lose by attacking inside the tent significantly more.
Oh my God! I'm so glad liberals got to go through this 6 years ago, Now it's happening to the right.
Anyone else on the right, while simultaneously massaging, again, watch the interview, massaging the nation's leading white supremacist. I'm sorry, there's no détente with those positions. Forget about the person, there's no détente with those positions.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Was this a good discussion? I mean, honestly,
Please talk about the importance of dialogue and more speech.
I give you tons of credit for coming and doing this. It's such a crazy thing for me that I had him booked last night and I had you booked tonight, and then you guys wound up in this. But part of me loves that, I can talk to both of you, but part of me hates this because I don't like it.
I hate it too. This idea that I'm like seeking conflict. Again, I'm not.
I know.
It's idea driven.
I know.
If the ideas are bad, I am against them.
I get
if
it.
the ideas are good, I am for them. End of story.
I get it.
Whoops for that.
And he would say the same, right? He feels very much America first, and that that we need to prioritize what's happening in our country, and Israel's not on that list, and so on. You guys can listen.
This is this fucking proxy war through Megyn Kelly.
That interview. If you want to hear Tucker's full thoughts, it aired today. You probably heard it. Okay, we're gonna take 20 seconds, and surprise, we're bringing Andrew and Michael back out here. We'll have a group discussion.
Oh my God. Is there supposed to be like a cutaway?
I don't know.
You guys again.
So.
All right. Oh, the intellectual. Oh, my God, I'm surprised there's not lightning in the room with how smart all these guys are.
What I miss?
You gave us all the easy questions. I like that.
We had a lot of fun. All right, let's actually have fun. Let's kick it off with the Sydney Sweeney moment. Not the dress, sorry. But with the moment, an extraordinary moment she had today, where she was asked quite a question by GQ magazine about that infamous or famous, depending on your point of view, American Eagle jeans ad and how she handled it.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like.
So I just looked at the dress they're talking about. That's crazy.
White people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Like a boss.
Yeah. That was actually sexier than the dress, I think.
What an extraordinary moment, right?
It's great.
That's watershed stuff up there.
It's the new meme. You know, there's a meme on the internet of like Anakin Skywalker talking to his wife, and then really he sort of doubles down, and it's this like dark right wing. That's the new version of that.
Jesus
She's the new
Christ,
spokesman for the American right.
What?
And I'm willing to go so far as to say right now I'm formally endorsing a ticket of Vance Sweeney 2028.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree,
same.
Mr.
Yep.
Matt Walsh. Wait, what's the name?
Michael Knowles.
Yes, sir. Matt Walsh. Michael Walsh. Yes, sir. Please, man.
Micro holes. There we go.
The greatest message discipline in the Republican Party.
The message.
Hey, so what do you think about genetic superiority of white people and joking about that? I think what I care, you'll know. Like,
Discipline, exactly. But what a thing to hold your own and say, like, no, I won't be making news for you today on that.
It's so great. And she understands the game, right? Which that the lady was after clicks. And if she comments in any way, it'll make a huge headline. She's like, no gas for the car. Yes. And now where are you going to go?
But
Smart.
that plus that Jennifer Lawrence moment, right?
Yep.
Drew is like, they're starting to get it.
Oh, listen, Hollywood is out of work. When I say that, I mean they're all out of work.
You could make a movie about white supremacy, and they would show up because they are out
It's
of
got
work.
clicks, though,
business,
yeah.
This is true. The business has shut down. Only the Christian people are making movies. A couple of movie stars who can still make movies. The business has closed, and the unions are enforcing racial quotas on the films, and you cannot win an Oscar if you don't have a certain racial quota of the people involved. And all of that is kind of just coming apart at the seams. It's kind of delightful.
It is. It's wonderful. Well, this is not least because this is the Democrats' bench. Like, this is their A-team to get them elected, right? This is who they...
Our A-team is Jennifer Lawrence. Okay.
bring out. This is who they parade out now. And more, they're going to be getting a no. Because if they can hurt the career of Taylor Swift, they can absolutely hurt anybody else. And by they, I mean us.
Has Taylor Swift's career been hindered by MAGA? Huh?
So they're learning that we have real buying power and that we can hurt you if you get too political, and we will. Like, we don't use it that often because we're conservatives and we kind of let people live and let live. But like when they try to push Kamala Harris into the White House,
Show me what's in your pants right now.
we stand up and we fight. We find our spine. So I feel so encouraged by that. I don't feel encouraged at all about anything that happened this week, but I feel encouraged by that.
And there was really no blowback to her either, which is sort of the impressive thing. So you remember back in the 90s, Michael Jordan famously was asked about why he didn't start making very loud political statements, and he said, because Republicans wear sneakers too. And everyone went nuts on him. This was considered terrible at the time. And then, of course, the NBA decided that LeBron James was the great face because he was so political, so much better than Michael Jordan because he was political. She said this,
Holy
and
shit,
I
Ben
think all
Shapiro.
of us cheered, and the entire left...
Bro, he's digging his own grave. He's going after the king.
I'm pretty sure he's gone after the king multiple times. He really does not like LeBron or something.
Oh man, it's like 50% of the remaining young people in Ben Shapiro's camp just left.
kind of backed into a corner. They really did.
They're afraid. They're like, oh shit.
I think that's right.
She can't be pulled around.
But you said something earlier, Megyn, that people have to show up for the people who make rebel films and rebel books and all that stuff. There was a film on Apple TV with Tom Hanks where he was a guy fighting Nazi submarines. All he does through the entire movie is read the Bible and kill Nazis. And I thought, everybody should be watching. We should be subscribing to Apple TV.
Greyhound, by the way.
Let's talk about 2020.
Killing Nazis reading the Bible. This is a great movie.
Who do we think is actually going to pull this thing out?
This is the thing.
Gavin?
Like, I don't know. Yeah, I wish these people's... No one cares about these terrible fucking predictions where they're like, Johnny's elected? Guess we'll just have to see New York crumble and fall. It's like, okay, man, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they're just like allowed to make these terrible predictions. Like, does anyone actually think these fucking retards can make these smart guys can make like good movies? Like, this is like cope to the maximum. Yeah, and they'll make terrible movies like Girl Ballers or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
That movie with that Ben Shapiro made it or whatever. Michael Knowles made this movie.
Yeah, no, I know they've made movies and they just suck.
Like they're yeah, I just don't. I guess you can just say, "Oh yeah, conservatives are the real movie makers," and like nothing happens because no one actually cares about their predictions.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just.
I guess.
I gotcha.
Right? Yeah, I get like the leading candidate.
Like if you had to put
now,
your money on it.
If you forced me today, I would say no. It's going to be a Bill Clinton-like figure in '92. It's going to be someone who maybe we don't know yet because no one's over that 25% threshold.
I don't know where the fuck he's getting this number.
Probably it is American Psycho, Governor Bateman, Newsom over there. Probably he's the leading candidate. The problem for him, though, is he doesn't know who he is. So he's a very far-left mayor. He was doing gay marriages in San Francisco in like 2003.
God
How dare he.
forbid.
Long before that was legal.
That's the thing. And ask any average American, they will be like, no, gay marriage is fine.
Yeah.
Literally ask any Southern guy ever. Or, well, that's not, okay. Okay. but I pushed it too far. Ask 99% of people, even
Not
some.
in 03, true. But again, it's a liberal governor in 03.
Yeah, who has values. They have like
or
a
mayor or
value thing.
whatever. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, this is not like an own, but they think it's an own, and people like, yeah, the Nick Fuentes guys will say like some outlandish thing that would destroy your political career if the American people heard it.
Yeah. Okay, so here's
Yeah,
the trend line from Gallup. So at about 2010, it flipped over between, it's actually declining the amount of people that think gay marriage should be valid. And in 03, it was like 42%. So like, yeah, in California, I got to imagine that's much higher.
Actually, you know what? I saw that new the thing that every political person did that is, who are you, is this person a Trump supporter, Kamala, or didn't vote?
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy how like that gay marriage was a big important thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't think gay marriage should be legal, I think I can guess where you're headed.
You would
Is
think
that the
so, but
implication?
it's very common with like Mexican immigrants or Latin American immigrants.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, yeah, even people that voted Kamala are like anti-gay marriage. So,
But like,
or maybe
clearly,
I
it's
guess-
not a big enough issue for them to change their vote.
Yeah, I guess.
Another thing you do have to take into, like, the same thing for like fucking Israel. It's like number 20 on most important issues for Americans. Like, it's just like it's doesn't matter.
Very left wing. Then
Two
he
people.
tries to pivot and be the new Clinton Democrat. So he tries to be friends with Charlie Kirk. He tries to
Number
be friends
one
with
for
Steve
Ben.
Bannon. He's going to cut
True.
this middle ground. That doesn't work. Then his press team is tweeting threats at Stephen Miller, and they're going far, far left shortly after Charlie was murdered. So he doesn't know where he stands, and it's just a party problem. The party problem is, the future of the Democrat Party, per Kamala Harris, is Jasmine Crockett and Zohran Mamdani, all these like far left communists, and he understands that no one is going to win
Far left guy lost in Minneapolis to a Dem, a regular
primary
Dem.
as a white guy who's a moderate who's friends with Steve Bannon, and no one's going to win a general if she's Jasmine Crockett, who sometimes can speak the English language and sometimes apparently can't.
But I saw you say on your show,
They're
this
afraid
is
of
why
AOC.
you believe Gavin Newsom is actually going to run, and he is going to run as the next black president. And the reason Michael predicts this is because of this soundbite. We got one more soundbite for you that comes from an interview he did with two former NBA players last week.
But also, it was also
say the
about
N-word?
paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
Hey, it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Macaroni and cheese. Grew up, bro. Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms
Entertaining
fall.
yourself.
That's it, whole thing. So just, and then, then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else. And started, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school.
Is the joke he's gonna be the black president because basketball? Is that what Megyn Kelly's getting at? Okay.
Yeah, because the black people are like chicken guys or something. They like basketball.
Jesus. Yeah, is that actually the
Like, that's-
insinuation? Is this the state of
I
Republicans?
like unironically. I think that's. I mean, these people are just
That's
so
as far
retarded.
as the joke. That's
back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man, and then he's bringing his friends and you're captain of the team and you're like, gee, and it just saved me and it got me into college.
He's got my vote, by God.
Michael said he
That's
was
the
born
whole. That is the whole joke. What the?
a poor black child.
I was waiting for him, and Listen, I'll tell you, fellas, smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13.
Okay, it is.
Chubby
Wow.
fella on the scene.
I really.
I'm getting word that he's trying to overly appeal to black people, I guess, but
that's.
I don't know, man. I think it's fine.
He is such an unbelievable lizard person. Right? Like when you watch him, you can almost see the ridges under his skin kind of moving.
Yes.
And you're waiting
The
for like
hands.
him to unzip.
Yes.
A dinosaur pops out. I was actually
How
in a
about the working class lie? It's such a lie.
It's unbelievable.
He said, he goes, well, my pops went out to get milk, he didn't come back, and finally my dad's came around.
He's
His
literally
dad was
just
the
doing
financial
fucking-
advisor to the billionaire Getty family, and he was a judge. He was a judge. That was his other job. My dad worked 2 jobs. Yeah, you were a financial advisor and a judge.
He was featured in a magazine spread as a teenager with the caption "Children of
This
the
is
Rich."
wild.
I was like Wonder Bread and mac and cheese.
You want to kick someone out of
Okay,
the
I'm
right
just-
tent? You got to kick
Never
Michael
mind.
Knowles out. This guy's a fucking hazard. You were gonna say?
No, I don't know. It's just probably cope. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little bit off the board in terms of 2028 picks for the Dems. I think everybody is underestimating AOC.
Yeah, me too.
I do.
Who? Underestimating?
AOC.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's scary.
Because if I look at the order of the Democratic primaries, it goes Iowa, super progressive, New Hampshire, super progressive, and you get to South Carolina, and that was sort of the firewall for quote-unquote normie Dems last time, right? Because Bernie won both the first 2 states, and then the entire Democratic Party decided to deprive him of the nomination by all getting together and James Clyburn saying it's got to be the dead guy, and so they all mobilized behind Biden. I think that it's harder to do that with AOC because what she represents is Bernie but ethnically diverse. And that is not a horrifying pitch inside the Democratic primary electorate, actually.
And hot. She's
Fucking creepo over here chiming in with the Sydney Sweeney commentary and now AOC.
Get it.
She
Still,
is.
come on,
She's-
Drew.
I'm sorry.
Stop
She
it.
is. She is.
Just stop it, Drew. Drew, no.
Ben Shapiro's having flashbacks for the tweets of him being obsessed with AOC's feet. I forgot about that whole thing. Oh shit.
Yes.
No, Drew, no. Stop.
She's no Sydney Sweeney, and I think we can all
She's
agree.
no
No, she's
Sydney
no
Sweeney,
Sydney Sweeney.
but she's got what Sydney Sweeney's got. Right?
My own personal opinion is you can't be like that constantly angry all the time and like really penetrate the language.
Ben is right. Ben is right.
Eyeballs are like half out of your
Yeah,
eye
but,
socket,
but Ben,
like all
Ben
the
is
time.
right. She's a good campaigner. She's good on the.
All right,
she
so would you put
absolutely-
money on AOC? Like, was she your front runner?
Yeah, I'm looking at the polls right now. I think that she is. If she's not, I think right now it's Newsom and her, but I think Newsom fades. I do. He's got the same feeling.
Yeah,
about,
I don't think
about
Newsom
him.
should win.
Actually,
I think he'll
kind of felt about
be able
a
to
guy
lose.
I really like, Governor DeSantis, in the early primary going in the Republican Party in 2024. I love Governor DeSantis, but in 2023, the idea was that he was definitely going to be the nominee in 2024, and then of course Donald Trump just swamped him, right, and swamped everybody. And so I could see a world where the Newsom moment kind of fades. Like he feels like he's peaking early. In all these races, there's somebody who kind of peaks early and like, oh man, remember that Tim Pawlenty guy? Remember there's like a hot moment where everyone's like, oh, Tim
poor
Pawlenty.
Tim
I like
Pawlenty.
Tim Pawlenty, but come on, you remember?
Okay, but what about like an outsider, like Stephen A?
Okay, first of all, I really like Stephen A. As a human,
I know.
Stephen A. is great. As
We
a
all
human
like
being.
him.
But a Democrat.
Oh,
and so
another
Stephen
thing?
A,
I don't know if you saw me tweet about this or maybe only tweeted about this in my dream. The amount of hype that lefties on Twitter were back when I was on Twitter, when they were like, Stephen A is the next working class king. And I was like, this is the worst take I've ever fucking seen in my
Yeah,
entire
that was
life.
Never happening.
Dude, Stephen A is the fattest piece of shit ever. Not like fat or, and that's not what I mean. I mean like he's like the biggest piece of shit, like the wide piece of shit. That's what I meant. Like it's a large amount of poop. You know what I mean?
What do you
Dude,
do?
I don't.
just.
Dude, he's a slime ball, man. I don't know why people like him. He's a slime ball. This is like the guys that Ben Shapiro likes. Oh yeah. Oh, who are you voting for? I'm voting for the guy that Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly like. Yeah. I don't know. I don't. Whatever. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't like that guy.
Fair enough.
He's diverse. He's from the outside. He's very good on camera.
That'd be fun. I would love it.
Would love.
Would love.
No? What do you mean? To run as a Democrat? We could do no better. On Team Blue, like to get a normie running as a Democrat, where like our worst case scenario is Stephen A. I feel like that's pretty good.
I totally agree with this. Totally agree with this.
Vance is going to be the next president, no matter what happens. It's
Vance.
Vance and Rubio.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Unbeatable.
Here's a question.
Wow,
if
that's
it's
the
Vance,
crowd.
Wait,
how does it
Vance
happen?
and Rubio?
Like,
Are you
do they
guys
do it?
actually mentally ill?
Not a shred of charisma between them.
Yeah, what?
God.
The most unelectable people of all time.
I hope they try it.
Convention.
Yeah, what's it gonna be?
Trump, like,
JD Vance.
What's the
couch.
thing like? Yeah, and the other guy wears like heels, basically.
That's DeSantis.
Like, oh yeah, my bad.
Little Rhonda.
Yeah.
like pass a baton?
Well, I think that the hot rumor is that Rubio's going to sign on as Vance's VP.
It's already getting ugly. I tried to find the clip. Maybe I'll find it tomorrow. But yeah, Vance and Rubio are already starting to like highlight their differences.
Right after the midterms, basically. Right, and then that makes a lot of sort of political sense for Marco, right? There are a lot of people who are trying to say that the Secretary of State should run against Vance. If you're just doing a game theory thing here, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Rubio to do that. If he runs against Vance and he loses in the primaries,
First we did the Laffer curve, and now we're doing the game theory. Okay, keep going.
if you're evaluating
It's like an intro to economics. Whatever.
options, what you would figure is he
Brilliant
runs against Vance, he loses,
games
and now he's toast.
theory
He
guy.
runs against Vance.
Okay, I teach economics or tutor it, whatever. It's like there's high schoolers learning about these concepts, so I can explain to them in like 2 seconds. Well, game theory does get more advanced, but the level 1 game theory they're talking about here is pretty simple.
And then Vance doesn't pick him for VP, and then Vance becomes president. He's toast. The only way that works out for him is somehow if he finishes second, but he's better off then, even if Vance picks him as VP and then loses. So that's definitely Rubio's best option. So I think they probably run a combined ticket. I think they foreclose primaries. I think no primaries.
But like if they sort of come out and say like we'd love to be president and vice president, and this is looking at like how is that gonna resolve it, right? There are other very ambitious Republicans in the Trump administration who might have a problem with it.
There are plenty
Stephen
of people
Miller,
who
2028.
want to be president, like every United States senator, every governor, everyone basically. But who's got the juice to do it? You make the point, Ben, that maybe Newsom is kind of like DeSantis was in 24, and I see it. But the difference is there was Trump, and really, I know there was a primary in 2024. DeSantis is great. I love DeSantis. I never really thought for even 2 seconds that there was seriously a primary. Trump was a fait accompli. He was the man. He was the one they were prosecuting. He was the one they were raiding his hat. He was the man, and they jilted him, and he's just this world historic figure. There's nothing even close to that on the left right now. And so as a result, Trump remains the man. He's basically endorsed that ticket of Vance Rubio.
Yes.
And I think it is, look, there are plenty of people who want to repeal the 22nd Amendment, name Donald to be, Donaldus Magnus, Emperor the First,
Donaldus.
have it passed to Baron Octavian Augustus Trump, and, so on and so forth. Assuming that doesn't happen, Trump can crown Vance and Rubio, and I think that's the end of the story.
All right, but now I have a question for you. I have another question for you. Because we're in November of 2025, so it's a long time before the actual race kicks in. And in between now
This
and
must
then,
go so
we
hard if you're
might have the
fucking-
tariff scheme collapse,
Don't say
depending
it,
on
but-
how the Supreme Court rules. It was ambiguous yesterday. It wasn't perfectly clear 2 days ago that it's going to go Trump's way. We might have eliminated the filibuster, which will be extremely controversial. And you're in favor of it?
The time has come. I would say, if you ask me, the time has come. You have
Okay.
to and actually, the proof of
I
that,
don't
look,
think
I'm
the-
like
yeah,
a big
whatever.
defender of the filibuster and standards and norms and slowing things down. I've loved the filibuster, but politics is applying eternal principles to changing circumstances. The Democrats will do it. There is no question. The only reason they didn't last time is because of Manchin and Sinema. They're gone. These are people who celebrated when the most prominent proponent of civil debate in America was assassinated in 4K. These people will stop at nothing, and you get a real advantage if you're the party to do it first. They've been creeping toward it.
Again, they just state this as fact. Nobody in power celebrated on the Democrat side. Like,
for years. It pains me to say it. I kind of like the filibuster in principle. Do it. Nuclear option. To quote George W. Bush,
I agree. Sure, man. Let's do it.
I have sort of a happy medium counter proposal.
See what the Americans think of you when you actually pass more of your dog shit legislation. I fucking dare you.
And it was actually put forward by our friend Jeremy Boring. I thought it was quite brilliant. What he suggested is that what Republicans should do, he said this a year ago, what Republicans should do is they should say to Democrats, let's do a constitutional amendment to enshrine the filibuster permanently, and if you won't do it, then we'll nuke it.
I like that.
Because that's like, okay, either we're all on board or nobody's on board. We're not going to play this kind of take them on faith game, which I think is quite smart.
I am terrified about the.
That's what they're asking us to do. Trump's like, yeah, if you open up the government, then I'll negotiate with you. No, you negotiate now, then we'll open.
Yeah. Loss of minority rights in the Senate, and because
I agree with you.
Our team's going to be there soon enough.
That's true.
And we are going to be terrified at what those Dems are going to do to us.
It does give a big advantage to having a.
Dude, I hate these people. What did the Dems do to you last presidency that was so fucking bad? What are they talking about? I'm so scared what the Dems are going to do to us. They're going to make us watch black people in the movies. They're going to make us watch Buzz Lightyear 3. Bro, kill me. What the fuck did we do last year?
Yeah, because he's a fucking crook, man.
Which the public will catch on to eventually,
Yeah.
so he can
W.
start to veto bills. It's going to.
That's what I want the FISA courts
a lot
to do.
more of people getting stuck.
Hey, whatever. Not last year. I meant last presidency.
Totally in favor.
He should be in prison for life. Yes, it's based. Use whatever tools you need to, because the man tried to insurrect the fucking government. He's a crook. They had to change our constitution just for him to run. Get him the fuck out of here.
The less they can do, the more.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like that was built in by the founders. They didn't want things to move quickly through the Senate. They wanted conflict. They wanted it to take forever. They wanted it to be really hard to pass legislation. They thought it would lead to strong arming and trying to get bipartisan, compromises done, and we just don't do that anymore. I think it is related to.
You don't do that anymore. When Biden was in office, we negotiated.
The Citizens United, where like money talks, and that's what everybody answers to. Who got them elected, and what do they want? They don't compromise anymore. So maybe you're right. Maybe different circumstances require different measures. But I really do not favor getting rid of the filibuster. I don't. What do you guys think? Do you want to get rid of the filibuster? Or no? How many who do not want to do it?
I love the hill that just shifted to die on here. I don't think it was campaign funds. That's the only part of that statement I have an issue with.
These are very wise, good-looking people. They understand. This is nuke it.
They got a lot of that. The Marxists will destroy us. No paying for Congress.
Don't pay Congress through the shutdown I heard out there.
It makes perfect sense.
Or ever, maybe.
So what is the biggest threat to a J.D. Vance Marco Rubio ticket actually winning?
I love the leash you give him.
What was the biggest?
What's the biggest threat to them actually
The biggest
winning?
threat is an economic downturn. It is not even close. So I'm very, very uneasy about the state of the economy right now. In fact, I think the best thing that could happen for the president is likely the Supreme Court striking down the tariffs. If that were to happen, then what you will actually see is some reduction in prices. You will see an explosion in investment, not in the top of the market. Right now,
Sorry, I don't know why your mic's doing
I'm
that.
not sure why. Right now, virtually all gains in the stock
He
market
just
are going
sounds
to the
like
Magnificent Seven, those top 7 stocks. If you take out the gains from the Magnificent Seven, the stock market has been flat for several years at this point. Everyone in the investment community is pouring money into AI, and I don't think it's going to pay off the way they think it's going to pay off. I think AI is a bubble.
I think that Trump is doing something really visionary, and I'm not sure
Dark
he's
Tess in the
doing
chat.
it as
Shout
according
out.
to a philosophy or just instinctively. But I think he is rearranging the American economy to be able to face off with China, which is going to be huge in about 3 years, if not shorter. The problem is, as he's doing that, he's not paying attention to this one thing that always is a president slayer, which is inflation. And he has not paid attention to that. And so the economy, it's hard to read the economy.
His numbers are bad on it.
Yeah. And
It's really bad.
So he's getting blamed for Bidenflation, basically. And
Yeah.
that's what I think it played into a
Wow.
little bit in the
So
election,
true.
not as much as people say. But I think that's the
Bidenflation.
thing,
True.
will he turn
Look
at
up
some point
look up
and
Joe
say,
Biden inflation on Rule 34, please, Megyn Kelly.
bring down prices, we've got to stop it, because inflation is not high.
He
but
has to at
prices
least
are not going
look
down.
like that's his
Yes,
number one
yes.
priority.
Absolutely.
And
He's
right
done
now he
great with
doesn't
gas
look like
prices,
that.
but
That's
yeah.
why people are punishing him and all of us with people like Abigail Spanberger. I call her Melba. She's Melba Toast. I told her, how did they elect Melba in Virginia of all places? And not to get us started on Jay Jones, right? I mean, let's end it on this. And you can use my mic to answer. But like, where do we stand now when we've actually seen here? I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. Where do we stand now when 2 months after Charlie's assassinated, the Democrats have elected somebody who's calling for assassinations of Republicans and their children? Like, how do we ever get along with these people? Do we try to get along with these people? Do we have dinners with these people? Do we try to compromise with these people? Do we just steamroll these people?
That's why she opened up the fucking. One of the first questions was, yeah, well, let's put politics aside. Now it's, do we interact with these people?
And do everything in our power to get Republicans elected here.
So, I think that we should define who these people are, because obviously I don't think every single Democrat is a person who wants to slit our throats. I mean, I think we all have
Well, Ben, you lost me there.
extended family members who are Democrats. I'm sure we all have friends who we work with who have voted the other way. But there are certainly an enormous number of people.
It's just Ben!
Move
I
away.
want to get closer to you. I want to get closer.
I know you're like Clavin with AOC. I don't know what's going on right now. But
I can dream, Kenna.
But it seems to me that when we talk about one of the big obstacles to the possibility of a comedy in politics of people getting along is being too broad about who we're labeling. There for sure is a segment of Democrats who absolutely 100% celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. We all saw it. We all know who they were. That's absolutely true. I don't
Random
think every
fuckers
single
on
person who
TikTok
voted
and
for
Twitter.
Jay Jones was celebratory about his text, in the same way that I think that people, when they vote, tend to overlook, terrible things that their own side has done when they get into a binary race with another side. Again, that's not an excuse for voting for Jay Jones, who is a complete and utter piece of shit. But that is to say, I'm hesitant to malign every single person who votes in an election one way by saying that's the reason they voted for that specific
Actually,
thing.
a
And so I think
coherent
that it's
take.
incumbent on everybody to basically right and left say
And
that
then let's hear what the
people who do
rest of them have to
violence,
say on this
obviously,
one.
are doing acts of evil, and it's evil. And I honestly, before Charlie's murder, I think that you saw this bizarre moment when Luigi Mangione murdered the United Healthcare CEO, where there were a group of people on both right and left. It was almost entirely left, but there were some people on sort of the populist right even who were saying, well, healthcare really is a problem. We should understand his points. And it was like, no, we should absolutely not. We absolutely should not. And these permission structures for violence really need to end.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
certainly agree.
for sure,
I know
dude.
it's fashionable to say we need to hear all voices and we just need a totally open marketplace of ideas, but I'm a conservative man, I'm pretty traditional, and I just don't agree with that. I think that we need to get much more serious about standards and norms in the country. So when someone is threatening people, that's not protected speech. When someone's seriously inciting violence, they're all matters.
Dude, I gotta go to bed.